was doing my usual daily scroll on Marketplace. I found this drop leaf Scandinavian 1950s mid-century modern table for 20 bucks. I took a look at the top and I realized the veneer is damaged and it's coming off, so I'm gonna have to replace that. But overall, this table is very, very gorgeous and I like the base design of it, and the legs fold out. So I'm first going to take off the whole top so then it is easier to access and clean those brackets that are a bit rusty due to water damage outside. That's why the veneer is damaged. This piece was just a 5-minute drive away from me, or else this probably wouldn't have been worth it. But by the time of me editing this video, I've had 2 people interested at the price that I say at the end of the video, and I am making decent money on it. I'm not joking when I say this, but the screws, the heads on them are too small and blunt, and it's hard to take out, so I'm going to replace the screws in the future. I think I'm going to be spending an hour at least taking this apart. It's been close to that. It's been around 30 to 40 minutes. I've taken off all the brackets, and they're very rusty, so I'm going to have to put that in some Barkeeper's Friend, some vinegar, and some hot water. But for now, I'm going to take off the water damaged veneer on the top of the middle piece, and I'm going to replace it with a new one. It didn't take me too long to take off all the veneer, it only took me around 10 to 20 minutes. So now I'm going to put all my brackets inside a glass cup, and I'm going to fill that with some warm water, some vinegar, and some Barkeeper's Friend, just to remove the rust from all the screws and all the brackets.
Where are you off to, young lady? Microwave.
I'm going to give that a bit of a stir around, and I'm going to let that sit for around 2 hours or so. And then after that, I'm now going to take them out, and I'm going to wire brush them down with my wire brush. And I'm going to just give them a respray paint, considering a little bit of the copper brass is faded away on them. So yeah, a respray paint is going to go well with these after I wire brush them down. I'm going to let that sit overnight, but for now I'm going to sand the whole thing down with 80 grit sandpaper just to remove that old finish and get to the bare wood to give it a new finish. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it down with the higher grits later on down in the track. Only 8% of you guys are subscribed, so make sure you like, subscribe, and comment where you guys are from. I kind of never explained what I'm actually going to use to replace that veneer I took off. I'm going to use this plywood I've used in other videos. This would actually suit it pretty well, so what I'm going to do is chisel it out. I know you guys don't like chiseling, but I sanded it straight afterwards to make it straight, and it actually did work pretty well, as will see in later on in the video. So I chiseled it out, and then I took it off, and what I did was I put the glue on the, I think it's particle board it's called, and then I clamped it on to the piece of where the old veneer was. So I'm just going to let that sit overnight as I had some other work to do, and I'm going to come back tomorrow morning and take it off. After letting that top dry, I'm now going to sand the rest of the thing down, well, the base down, with 120 grit sandpaper. So after I sanded the whole piece down, I'm going to give it some warm water just to clean off all the dust so I can get a finer finish with my stain I might use. But after this, I'm actually going to use some turpentine to get out all those scratches and just other things and lift up more of the wood grain just to show more of the gorgeous grain. I do like the mid-century modern pieces because of the wood exactly. It just looks very beautiful, and they glamour and shine very well. So I'm going to let that sit and dry for around an hour or so, just to let it fully soak in. But after that, I am now going to apply my outdoor furniture stain. This was absolutely beautiful, and it made the grain show absolutely gorgeous. This is, I think, a teak stain? I don't exactly remember, but it is one for the darker pieces of wood. Usually after I finish staining or sanding these pieces, I like adding this varnish spray-on lacquer piece, because it just makes the grain show even more, and it just makes it even more gorgeous. Overall, this piece took me 4 to 6 hours to do. I might have sold it for $150 tomorrow. Luckily, I only paid 20 bucks for it, so I will be making the minimum wage, but that's not the case. I like making these videos because it is very fun to do. If you haven't, please drop a subscribe and like and comment if you enjoyed it.